Hello my lovely crafty friends, thank you for joining me again for another crafty video, or if it's your first time stumbling across this video and my channel, then an extra warm welcome. Today's video is actually part 2 of the latest release of Tonic Craft Kit 41. So in the first video, which I'll put a link to here and also down in the description box, I showed you the contents of the kit and I made 2 cards. And then this is part 2 where I'm going to make 3 more projects for you. So after doing part 1, I was left with this card panel which I made using this lilac waterfall Nuvo shimmer powder. So I'm definitely going to use this for a background in one of my cards, and I quite like to make use of the little scraps where I can. So because one of the last cards involved me cutting out this die 3 times, I was left with all of the pieces. Well, I actually put them in my bin and I've just fished them out, but it's only my paper bin, so it's okay. So I managed to find all the pieces, and I'm going to stick these. There's like these little raised bits, so I'm going to stick them onto there and then have a range of different, I've been pulling out different sequins and confetti and stuff, trying to pick colour combinations that I like. So there will be a few things included in this video that aren't in the Tonic Craft Kit, so don't worry if you haven't got this Tonic Craft Kit. The video will still be of interest to you. And I'm going to make 3 completely different cards. So I'm going to make 1 shaker, so using this die. I'm going to stick these pieces of sugar crystal, which is a beautiful glitter cardstock, which is primarily white, but it's got pinkish and greenish tones in it. And I'm going to also use some other speciality papers, and this panel here, this lovely sort of blue tealy striped paper, is from this 6x6 inch paper pad Sweet Sorbet, which is the new colour trend at the moment for Tonic Studios. So also on one of my cards, I'm going to use this Nuvo Glacier paste because I haven't played with Glacier paste before and it's just gorgeous and I really want to use it. So this is where I'm up to at the moment. So I'll turn the camera off for a second and then I'll see you in a short while when I've made a little bit more progress. Okay, so an idea has just come to me, guys. Cut out the middle of the using this, which is what my shaker will poke through. And it just reminded me that I had this left over. This is why it's so useful, I find, to keep the leftovers, because, you know, this is obviously a piece of card with the shape of a lolly cut out, but it's more than that. It's actually a stencil in its own right. Fair enough, it's a stencil that you can only use once because it's made out of card, but it is actually a stencil. So this Glimmer Paste, I'm not sure whether you've used any of Nuvo's pastes, but they do a variety of different pastes, and I'm most familiar with the embellishment mousse. And when you spread that through a stencil and it dries, it gives a raised and shimmery effect, whereas Glimmer Paste gives you a shimmery effect but not raised. So bearing that in mind, I'm going to spread this on here and use it like a stencil and see what happens. It's very shimmery. It's very different in consistency to Nuvo embellishment mousse. Very different. I think it'd be much easier to use this through a stencil, like a proper stencil with smaller areas to cover. Okay, so we'll call that done and we'll see what it looks like. If it doesn't look very good, well, it was just an experiment. It doesn't have to be one of my actual cards. And at least now I know what it's like. I think what I might do is, instead of just like wasting this, because it's so pretty and shimmery, I'm going to smear some of this on my panel. So obviously, if you watched my last video, you'll have seen me making this panel using the shimmer powder. So this is just being a bit more mixed media-y and adding something else into the mix. But it's so beautiful. I don't want to just wipe it off on a baby wipe and sort of be done with it, when I could add it to another project. So very thrifty. Oh, can you see how much that's shiny? That is so pretty. Oh, I definitely don't want to be wasting any of this. Fab. Excellent. So I've added extra shimmer to that panel. And I'll put that to one side to dry, and I'll crack on and be back in a mo with some more progress. Right, so I've made a bit more progress. I cut out the middle of the background panel, through which the shaker element's going to fit, and then I decided that I wanted it to have a lovely pearlescent purple background to it, using this card from the craft kit, because these two colours are like my favourite colours, turquoises and blues and greens and aquas and pinks, actually, funnily enough. So I decided that I would make the ice lolly pink, and then what I've done is I've glued these. So you use these two dies to make, well, I'll show you the card. If you've watched the last video, you'll have seen it already, but this is what I made last video. So if you use these two dies together, it gives you this outline. So what I have done is I've saved all the middles and glued them onto this, so that it'll look like that, and then that will poke through here, obviously with that on, and the lovely purple background. So now comes the fun bit of choosing some colours to go in it. I've never used any of these shaker elements from Tonic. I think it's a really good concept in a way, because it makes the process of making shaker cards easier, because it's got these blister packs that come in like a pack of 5, I think, and you can buy refills for them. They do. They've got obviously these ice creams are a new range, but I've got coffee and tea, a beer glass. I think I bought, there was a special offer one time, but anyway, so. And then you don't have to buy more blisters if you don't want to. I mean, you could just turn this into a shaker card using acetate, you know, bits from spare packaging, or, you know, recycle, things like that. So I've got these rainbow quartz triangles, which are lovely and iridescent. So I think they'll look nice in there. I've also got these mermaid parade stars, which, again, I think they'll look nice. And in the other shaker I made, I included this Aqua Aurora as well. So it's similar, but obviously different enough. And then in the other one as well, I also used this Snowstorm Flakes tinsel, because it's like, it kind of looks like sprinkles. So, I mean, do you think that's a bit overkill, 4 different times? I don't think so. I don't think it's overkill. I think it's just, it'll just stretch my supplies more if I'm only using a little bit. Now, sticking these on was quite tricky. These were easier, but these, there's not a lot of surface area in order to adhere these panels onto. But touch wood, because I've used a strong adhesive, this one happens to be the Nuvo Deluxe adhesive, which is one of my favourites. I also really like Cosmic Shimmer. As you can see, this is a full pot that's just got the dregs, but I have got another one. So they're my sort of go-to glues, because they're both really strong. And obviously sticking stuff onto plastic, you know, is always a bit risky, but I think this is going to be okay. Let's go ahead and add some sparkles. And it's nice to be able to use these, because I've got so many pots of glitters and sequins and stuff, you know, lying around that have come in kits, or there's been a really good offer on Tonic website and I've bought them. I think that's why I've got these packs. I think I've got four packs of a mixture of sequins, confetti and glitter, because they were on a Wednesday deal for a really good price, and I didn't have many, and I thought, oh well, that's a good way to build your stash, is to buy things when they're on offer. And you know, if you've watched any of my other videos, if you're one of my regular viewers, you'll know that I'm thrifty, and I love buying craft supplies, but I don't like spending lots of money. I want to make cake and I want to eat it too. So, yeah, and I very rarely pay full price for things unless it's something that I really, really, really want and there's no way of getting it cheaper. So, rainbow quartz triangles. I don't think I have used these before, but I think these will look really cute. It's quite a big shaker element to fill, really, so I think it is okay that I'm using lots of different types, and it just adds more interest. This tinsel stuff is really quite subtle, but it is nice. And I don't have, oh actually I've got some, I might add just a few of these hexagons. Let me just get them and have a look, see if the colour will go, because we want it all to match, don't we? These muted mauve hexagons, yeah, that'll totally go. Bit of purple in there. Oops, quite a bit of purple in there. Oh, this is so much fun. I think one of the things I love about crafting is just, I just feel like a child playing. You know, it just brings back those happy memories of being a child and it being playtime. But I'm a 38-year-old woman. You know, it's fun. It makes me happy. Yeah, so there we go. So that's our shaker blister full of its blingy goodness. So these are very easy to use. It's got this double-sided adhesive on, and you just peel it off and then stick your backing panel to it. It's literally that easy. So we just line it up correctly and keep all of the little pieces in their place. Oh, and look at that. Oh, look at all the different colours. That looks so cute. I need to figure out where to position this. And then so this will go over the top and cover up the workings. That'll sort of slot in like that. Okay. This is the trickiest bit, really, just lining it up so that that it fits. But if I make a pencil mark there, a pencil mark here. That should be sufficient. And I'm going to use my nice strong glue again. And you do get a bit of wiggle time with this, which is handy. Sorry if my head got in the way then. Yep, and that's fine. Give that a good press down. I've been trying to do a no spend March. If you've watched any of my previous videos, I think I mentioned it in my February craft haul one. It didn't go that well because on the 9th day or the 10th day, there was some bargains that I absolutely had to buy. So unfortunately I haven't made it through March without buying any craft supplies. I had to buy I allowed myself to buy a multi-pack of red liner tape from Amazon, because that's a consumable, and you know, if you need to stick things down with red liner tape and you're running low, then you're gonna have to, aren't you? So I'm gonna adhere this again with the same glue, and it sort of slots in like a jigsaw puzzle. And there we go. I'm really pleased. I love the things behind there. They look really cute together. I'm glad I added those mauve hexagons actually. It's nice to have a variety of different sizes and things in there, I think. Right, so I'm going to leave that to dry for a little bit, and then I shall work on my second idea. So I'll be back in a moment with a bit more progress. So I've made some more progress, my friends. This card has now dried, and I just really like the look of it. I think it looks great. You know, these have adhered well enough, you know. I think as long as no one pulls at them, they'll be fine. And I wanted to turn this into a birthday card, I think, and there isn't a suitable stamp in the set. So I've found out this little small set from Clearly Besotted, which says it's your birthday, treat yourself. So I'm going to stamp that onto a thin strip of white cardstock. So I'm going to do that for that one. And then I use the intricate die from the set to make this your love or heart you more than ice cream sentiment, which I cut out of this beautiful Miami mint cardstock, which was in the kit. I've been using up my waste, so the aperture that I cut out of there I used for that. The aperture that was cut out of this bit, I laid that on behind that and on top of that, and then I cut the whole lolly again out of the sugar crystal just for a bit of a drop shadow, just to add a bit of extra bling. And there's some little stars in the set as well, so I think I'm going to put a few little sugar crystal stars around. So I'm going to glue that together, and because that's already got a sort of love you more than ice cream, I thought I might use the have a sweet day sentiment on that. And again, I think I'll just stamp that onto a thin strip of white card and stick it on. So I'm just going to do those bits, and then I'll be back in a moment when these are assembled. So for this third card, I kind of wanted to make it just really quite fun and make the most of this background really. So I've chosen to use the sentiment from the set, Stay Jolly, Have a Lolly, because I think that can be really quite versatile in terms of you know, just sending a thinking of you kind of card, or you know, you could turn it into a birthday card as well, just by adding a small happy birthday sentiment as well. So I've decided to sort of put the lolly at a sort of jaunty angle and then stamp in VersaFine Onyx black ink directly onto the panel. So that way, you know, you get to see loads of the shimmery background still. And I say I've cut the main image of the lolly out of the that gorgeous mirror card and used the marshmallow pink speciality handcrafted card with the chevrons, because I hadn't yet used that and I really wanted to. So I'm just going to go ahead and stamp this in the VersaFine Onyx black. And hope that stamp's okay. On top of all this media underneath. Might have to stamp it a few times, but that's okay. It is watercolour paper as well, so often you do have to stamp things, you know, quite a few times on watercolour card because it's obviously has more texture to it. So that's fine. There we go. It's legible. It's pretty dark. I mean, I can go over it with a gel pen if it's not quite as dark once it's dried as I'd like it to be. That's no problem at all. Right, so I've got that. So obviously we've got the pinks, we've got that in black. So I'm thinking I need some blue tones. So going to need to, maybe if I do, because I want to obviously make it different to the last one that I did. So the last one I did the outline in sugar crystal and then layered, but I think this time I might just do the outline in blue and leave the centre so you can just see all of those lovely chevrons, because it is so pretty, that paper, and why sort of overcomplicate it if you don't need to. And so I'm going to get some blue pearlescent card. I've still got so much cardstock left as well, even after doing this. I've done this twice today. Put the die, ran it through the die cutting machine, thought, oh, why is that not cut? And it's because I've put the wrong end down. So it's quite irritating when that happens. It's like, oh, dearie me, why have I done that? But never mind. So just have to make sure that this is lined up properly and then adhered securely with some tape to make sure that it cuts with a fairly equal border around it. We don't want like a really fat at one end and thin at another end. And here we go. I've just die cut that off camera, and I think that looks really cute. That looks really lovely. Oh, actually, I've got it the wrong way round. You know, so yeah, I think that's enough. It brings out the blue that's in the background. So I just need to stick that on to here, and then stick it on, and then add any extra embellishments that I need to onto the card. So I'll see you in a moment. Okay, so here we go. The card is now finished. I cut out and stuck on the blue panel, and then I said I was just going to leave each layer the same, but then I wondered how would it look if I used a Nuvo glitter marker over the top. The same sort of way that you would when you have an embossing folder and then just colour the raised edges. So I tried it out on this scrap of paper. I've got two purples. I've got the wild lavender, which is the paler one, and then this purple passion, which is the darker one. And I thought it looked really nice, like just the way it just touches the raised areas of the chevrons. So that's what I've gone and done. Just covered the chevrons just to give it a bit of variety. I raided my sequin mix stash, so which is basically this random tin, which is got random colours of all different coloured sequins in there, and I don't know, you know, what exactly is in there, and I've made a right mess, so I'm gonna have to tidy that up in a minute. Never mind. Yeah, so I've pulled out, I've got quite a few of these, although probably a lot less now because I keep using them. These lovely iridescent ones that are sort of pinkish greenish, which are perfect for this type of project. I found a couple of purple ones which matched, the kind of purple that matched, a random white one there. And then I put a few blobs of the Nuvo drops. Oh, there's another random sequin. A few drops of the Nuvo, which I forgot to mention actually, that this colour, Lavender Fog, I think is exclusive to the kit. And I noticed from the card that I made in my last video, if you look really closely, you can see that the Nuvo drops actually pick up some of the colour underneath. So they've got bits of blue there, which I just think is fantastic. So obviously I wanted these two cards to be very different, with the panel, you know, being the same. I wanted them to be very different. And I'm really happy with that. So the ink is still wet on the black. But I think I might, once it's fully dry, I'll see if I need to go over it a bit. But all in all, I am really happy with this. And look at the shimmer from adding that Glacier paste just with my finger. So I'm really happy that I did that, and I'll definitely be playing more with that. My other two cards I have also finished. So we have this one, which if you remember, I used mainly scraps for this one. So this was a scrap, this was a scrap, and then the Love You More Than Ice Cream sentiment was cut out of that beautiful Miami Mint cardstock. And these are the little stars that come, the star dies that come in the kit, which just make these two cute little stars. And again, I added some a few sequins and just a couple of Nuvo drops in clusters of 3. So I'm really quite happy with that. It's got nice dimension to it, and lots of shimmer, but also quite clean. I think this one it's quite clean and simple. But the last one, today's shaker, is this one. So as I said, I used the It's Your Birthday, Treat Yourself from the Clearly Besotted stamp set, and that's just because I wanted it to be a birthday card and there wasn't a birthday sentiment in this particular kit. But I love the shaker on this. I love the different elements that I've used, the little triangles, and just the variety. So again, the sequins that I used were Tropical Oasis, Aqua Aurora, yeah, just those two, and then a couple of Nuvo drops and some more shimmery hearts. So there you go, that's all 3 makes from today, and this has taken me probably about 3 hours. So really quick cards actually. Obviously I already had this background from yesterday, so you can add on a little bit of time for that, but I mean, basically all you do to make that background is spray some water and squirt some of the powder and leave it overnight, and it does it's the job for you. I think these cards are all really different from each other. So I say, if you haven't watched my first video, I will put. I've already put a link for that in the description box, and I'll put a link to the playlist from my other tonic unboxing and inspiration videos for you. So I really hope that you've enjoyed today's video. To any new viewers, if you have enjoyed the video, please feel free to explore my channel, and if you like what you see, then consider subscribing. It'd be great to have you on board. If you did like it, use your thumbs, give me a little thumbs up, and as always, feel free to ask me any questions that you want in the comments, or you can email me. So it's been lovely spending this time with you today. Thank you so much. I do really appreciate it, and see and speak to you again soon with some more crafty fun. Bye.